So a double review today, 540 and 541 of Fairy Tale. Now, quickly I want to go over chapter 540 real quick because there's some things in there that just need to be talked about. So after Acmelia's rampage and pretty much leveling out all of Fiore, all of Magnolia, we learned that all the Dragon Slayers were brought into his own ravines of time, and Nachu is the last one there, pretty much the last one to be crystallized, and this is because Acmelia needs all the remaining 7 Dragon Slayers to be a kind of a stabilization, since we find out that since he swallowed the ravines of time and absorbed it into himself, that it's pretty much creating instability inside of him, which pretty much, like I guessed, separated both his body, being his dragon form, and his mind, which being in human form. Now the human taking care of all the dragon slayers within the ravines of time before he can go and restore himself back into his original body, which is pretty much, like I said, on autopilot, and leveling all of Fiore. Good stuff right there. I'm enjoying that much right there. And pretty much finding that in this whole situation, everyone's freaking out and everyone's just trying to like hurry up back to each other, trying to think of a plan, which comes in chapter 541. But right here, it's, we in 540. Yeah, pretty much it. Well, we all saw it coming. No one hold their breaths. Ichia and Anna return, and pretty much just like their whole weight of them sacrificing themselves to be Acmelia meant absolutely nothing. And them coming back again means absolutely nothing. I mean, did we really care? Ichia was more of a comic relief character. Anna just showed up just to advance the plot a little more. And yeah, then nothing really matters. There was no weight to either of them. So then coming back, it's just like, yeah, saw that coming. Nothing new. Because honestly, if it would have been a lot better if Acmelia really did them in, or maybe just waited off a little more. I mean, we know they weren't going to die, but just the thought of it, it really wouldn't have mattered anyway. That's all I can really say about that. They're back and no one really cares. The second part of the chapter that had me worried was just like, honestly, as epic as it was to see everyone, all 7 Dragon Slayers form up, ready to team up, just have them all one panel again. I mean, we saw them all fight together against the dragons that came back through the time door, whatever it was called, way back in after the Grand Magic Games. But seeing them all together at once, just shoulder to shoulder, everyone's ready to go, facing Acmelia, that was beast, that was sick, that was awesome. But how it led up to it is just like, oh, yeah, that's Fairy Tale. That's Fairy Tale, and it's kind of setting up a little bit of a, I guess, I don't want to say sour taste, but that's the best way I can describe it right now, is just that them hearing their friends' voices of the guild and their friends' voices outside of whatever. Wendy heard Charla, Gaju heard Leving Lily, so on and so forth. So they broke out of the crystallization that Acmelia is holding them in, and it's just like, okay, so friendship power just broke them out, even though they had really no way out at all aside from that. But Fairy Tale. I mean, this shit would have worked in something other, like in some other shonen. My best example would be Soul Eater, because the Meisters and the weapons, they both share souls and pretty much have to form a synchronization with each other just to make sure that they can battle that with each other, be each other's sidekick. Because one doesn't work without the other, unless in some rare cases. And same thing with another example, Shaman King, where Spirit and the Shaman both have to have a certain sort of synchronization in order to, battle it out, create oversoul, giant oversouls, and pretty much be each other's equal, each other's ally in order to make it work. Fairy Tale is just, we're friends. We can connect with each other like that because we're friendship. That, yeah. 540 was just it was awesome, but at the same time, it was a little bit lukewarm and left the sour taste at the end. Now into 541. Now the main parts were the battle between Acmelia and the Dragon Slayers and Lucy's plan. Now quickly, Lucy's plan, like I said, she's got a plan. Sounds like a good plan for now, but it has its flaws. But for now, I want to focus on the battle real quick for this first part. Now, Acmelia is being a beast right now. I'm enjoying that, really enjoying that. And all these Dragon Slayers just coming up at him, powered up by Wendy, one after another, and he's just blowing them off. Just, one flick of his finger, one flick of his arm. And one translation I read, he's like, you're all weaker combined than one of my fingers. And this goes on different translations, different whatever, but I enjoyed that part the most, saying, damn, it's gotta hurt the pride a bit. I mean, all of you coming at him and just powered up, nothing. Absolutely nothing. So how are we going to fight Acmelia? that just remains to be seen. And I wish that the battle extended more out through this chapter, because I feel like the whole explanation and everything about Fairy Sphere could have been summarized in maybe 3 to 4 pages. But like I said, yeah, that's not what happened. Because we could have seen more of a struggle, see more of some more tactics that the Dragon Slayer is trying to come up with, see if they can try and at least push Acnologia even an inch. But that just remains to be seen. We'll see more of it next chapter. Hopefully a lot more of the battle, and hopefully a lot more of the struggle now. Against Acnologia, someone's got to go. Someone has got to go, and as much as I say that, as much as I want it, as much as a lot of us want it, it's very slim that's actually going to happen. I mean, honestly, if anyone's going to go between this battle, it's going to be someone like real minor. My best guess is going to be Cobra from the Dragon Slayers. Because why? Cobra just, after the Roshi and Seis arc, he just kind of like got tossed in there just because he had the name Dragon Slayer. He was kept alive just for that sole reason, and pretty much the weight of him being part of Jalal's guild, just there's not really much to him. I mean, yeah, we know his character and what he's capable of and why he fights and everything, but against Acnologia and being as minor of a Dragon Slayer as anybody else next to Laxus, I guess you could say, he's the first candidate up to be, done in by Acnologia. Maybe he'll, maybe let Acnologia eat his poison or whatever, maybe something will happen. But second from that, I would say Sting or Rogue, maybe the combo, because honestly, everyone looking at Sting and Rogue is like, I mean, they do have fans and everything, and they are cool for what they are, but they just like let the sour taste after the Grand Magic games. Like I said, they're cool, but they're not that cool. So, Rogue, Sting, and Cobra are the ones that could possibly be done in, if at all. Like I said, we're just on our way towards the Great Circle Jerk that is the final chapter, which Hiromashi has posted and he's working on. And damn, just thinking about that right now. I can't think about that right now, I gotta get back into this. Yeah. Sting, Rogue, and Cobra. If anybody are the ones gonna be done by Acnologia, but that remains to be seen. That just remains to be seen. Now, on the outside, everyone's scrambling, trying to figure out what's going on. Everyone's trying to throw in theories about how to defeat Acnologia, magic swords, imagine the word, great magics, whatever. And everyone's freaking out. Everyone's in a panic. They're fighting the dragon of Acnologia, and they don't have Dragon Slayers. So it's a pretty dire situation, and everyone's freaking out, and that's enjoyable. He's still leveling out Magnolia. But now everyone's thinking up a plan, and Lucy comes up with a plan, and everyone, from what I've seen, everyone's like, finally, Lucy's being useful. Well, she has been useful throughout the past. I mean, yeah, she hasn't been on a grand scale, and she has been improving herself. But her coming up with an actual plan, off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything right now. But this plan right here, one of her best, if her absolute best, and that is bringing back Fairy Sphere. The one thing Acnologia couldn't destroy 8 years ago, because 7 years, then another time skip for 1 year. 8 years ago, Acnologia couldn't destroy them, but at the same time, Acnologia could not have been aware that they were saved by Fairy Sphere. So, if anything, he didn't even use his full power to destroy Tenra Island, and that is just something you gotta think about. Because he knows that these humans, they couldn't hurt him. They had Gajil and Natsu and Laxus, and the rest of everyone else that was there for the S-class competition. And all of them there didn't even put a scratch on him at all. And so pretty much he just flew up, and honestly, I won't even say half his power just to try and destroy the island. And Fairy Sphere being there for them at the last minute could have been bumped up to its maximum just to protect them. Now he has the Ravines of Time, and everything about the Ravines of Time right now, now that I think about it, he's not really using it to its full potential other than to store the Dragon Slayers. Okay, yeah, that's exactly why. He can't control it fully, so that's why he has the Dragon Slayers there, so that he can use them to stabilize. I just said that before, my god, I already forgot. But yeah, so until he can actually use it, Fairy Sphere may work, but then again, it may not, Because like I said, Acting Logia may not have been using his full potential, and maybe once they actually trap him inside of it, he'll just bust out of it out of nowhere. Or maybe he might have a struggle, which would be cool to see. But right now, I'm not really counting on it. And then you got Sabretooth being led by Minerva, and everyone just like pretty much trying to bring Acting Logia to Hargion in order to get him on a boat, get him sick in order to, so they can activate Fairy Sphere. But the struggle to find Fairy Sphere in a book of all places. So yeah, Makarov kind of explains that Mavis put it in there, that there was a book in existence that teaches someone how to use Fairy Sphere, yeah. And it's just thinking, so you're just gonna leave that lying around the guild, even though members are family and everything, you're just gonna leave a book that important laying around. Okay, so Fairy Glitter was kept on Tenor Island and only given to someone who becomes an S-class mage. But then again, wouldn't everyone have it? Okay, so that's a hole right there. And then there's Fairy Law, which is only given to the master of the guild. I mean, pretty sure someone else could probably use it if it was probably handed down master to master appropriately. Because, yeah, you know, all the masters were kind of like jumbled around everywhere, not officially granted. But yeah, so Fairy Law and Fairy Glitter will both have to be earned and obtained. Fairy Sphere is in a book. Okay, why not? It's in a book. Oh man, it's a constant struggle between finding the good and the bad in these last few Fairy Tail chapters. I'm enjoying it to the fullest. I mean, the Dragon Slayers versus Acting Logia. Come on, that is not hype as fuck. And everyone's trying to figure out a way to get the dragon under control. Hype as fuck. And the means in which it's going about it is just like, come on. We're on 541. We have 4 more chapters to go. 4 more chapters to go. It's gonna be a wild ride. That's all I can say. It's gonna be a wild ride. These next 4 chapters, full of ups and full of downs, and I just want Acting Logia to have a good fight. And so far, it looks that way to me. 4 more chapters to go. So much can happen. I mean, it feels like there's so much more that could have happened. But as I keep on saying, missed opportunities within Fairy Tail. 541 and 540, roller coaster of 2 chapters. Just getting me pumped for the next one. Altogether, just combining these two, I would give it maybe a collective of 7 out of 10 points for Fairy Tail at the moment. So, with that remains to be seen. Really looking forward to these next chapters, and man, got a new setup again. Gotta get used to this stuff again. I had stuff planned, but that was for the other room, and I gotta rework it and redo it in here. Oh well. But anyway, hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of the chapter down below. And yeah, I'll be back next week with another one. Hopefully more. This is Nigel Kura, signing out. Later. Just a quick thing of the new setup again. Right, it's got all that stuff right there. Old Shonen Jump. I really missed the publication. Some Seraph of the End pops right there. Just got them. I really enjoyed that show. I really wish there's more. CDs, DVDs, my anime, and some Totoro. Fairy Tail poster, Yu-Gi-Oh! And then all the old figures that I had, my manga. I have a lot more, but it's all in storage as the old backdrop I used to have. Zelda, Majora's Mask, best game ever. And right there, some more pops. Those are Kana's pops and her Pit-Boy right there. She collected like mad when Fallout 4 came out. But yeah, that's just all that right there, the whole old backdrop. Then the workstation where I do all the editing, my computer is charging somewhere else because there's no charger right here. But yeah, stick around. Hopefully I can make this work again. Later.